Wow, guys, I obviously was not intending on doing this video, but I just sat down and read the news that Simone Biles decided to drop out of the US team competition for women's gymnastics in the Olympics, and that is mind-blowing. She cited stress as the reason, and so I figure we need to talk about this because she's already getting massive backlash about how she's letting down her team and abandoning America and all of this garbage. I could not disagree more vehemently because frankly, I think that Simone Biles just made a legendary leadership decision. Let's talk about stress and performance. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now and the little bell so you're not missing. My dogs want you to subscribe too. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button now as well as the bell so you don't miss any of the content that we release every week on reducing stress and living a more fearless life. As a stress physiologist who works with high-performing women in leadership, I gotta say, I teared up a little bit watching the press conference with Simone Biles. There had been a lot of speculation that there was some kind of physical injury after a bit of a missed vault, but she assured everybody that physically she was fine. Mentally, though, it was a little more touch and go. It's been a long week, a long year, a long Olympic process, she said. I think we're a little too stressed out. We should be out here having fun, and that's just not the case. The media kept pressing her, insisting that there must be some kind of physical injury that would be preventing her from, performing. And the reality is the world would probably be a lot more forgiving of her if that were the case. But what Simone and other great leaders know is that mental injury, stress, affects performance just as much, if not more, than physical injury. Look no further than Tiger Woods. When his personal life started to fall apart, so did his golf game. And that's not a surprise to any sports psychologist or stress physiologist out there, because when you look at the Yerkes-Dodson Curve, this empirical relationship between pressure and performance, what you see very clearly is how important this decision was that Simone made quite bravely to give her team a chance at medaling. At the base of the curve here, you have very little stress along with, really low performance. Think about this being you and I sitting at home watching the Olympics, maybe a bowl of popcorn, it's a Friday night, we don't have to do anything. So because we have low stress, we also have low performance. We're not doing those vaults. But maybe you start thinking about that report that's due at the end of the week. Now, you've got plenty of time to do it, but there's some pressure there. So now you have a little more pressure, and in fact, your performance will go up. If you know that you have a deadline, you're not sitting around twiddling your thumbs like, I can do this anytime. You actually have to get this done, and so your performance will increase to a point. And this is the important part. Most people don't stay here at the top in optimal performance. They end up taking on too much, stressed out, anxious, exhausted, and sliding down to lower performance again. When we look at where Simone Biles was mentally, she was on this side of the curve. Exhausted from her training, exhausted mentally, emotionally, physically, and so her performance was not going to be good. Imagine now, cameras everywhere, you're the superstar of the Olympic team, you're getting attention everywhere you go, everyone is looking to you to lead them, and you have a shaky start, a rough vault, and now you're also in the middle of a pandemic, there's no crowds, there's all kinds of weird stressors happening. And you realize your head isn't in the game. You're already slipping down this side of the low performance curve. Oh, and let's not forget the training 6 days a week, 7 hours a day for years to get to this point. So how do you think you would have handled this? If you had the self-awareness of Simone to recognize where you were on this performance curve, would you have backed out? Let me know in the comments below, and then I'll share what I think. Personally, I like to believe that I would have made the same decision as her. I'm not sure I would have. My ego may have gotten in the way, but Simone, you are a true champion. Because I think if Simone hadn't dropped out, she would have pulled her whole team down with her into this stress spiral. Their only chance at medaling was her saying, good luck guys, I trust you, you've got this. And that's what great leaders do. They take themselves out of the equation when they recognize that they are a factor that is not helping, but actually hurting their teams. We've all had a leader who hasn't done that, or maybe we have been that leader. Rather than step aside and take care of their mental health and trust their team, they clutch tighter at the controls and end up veering everybody off course. The decision that Simone made was a selfless one. She didn't let her ego stand in the way of her team's success. And that is great leadership. Bravo, Simone, and congratulations to the entire US gymnastics team on their incredible performance and pulling together under stress. How will you lead the next time you find yourself over on this side of the Yerkes-Dodson Curve? I hope you'll follow Simone's example. If you're struggling with your own performance as a result of stress and anxiety, I'd love to help you out. So reach out to me at info@RebeccaHeiss, or go ahead and take the imposter syndrome quiz that's in the description below. When you take the quiz, we'll send you a whole guide of how to overcome those imposter thoughts, the ones that hold you back from being your true, authentic, fearless self. If you like this video and are looking for more tips and tricks on how to lead through stress and anxiety, check out these other videos and make sure you subscribe and like this one. Until next time, stay fearless.